Yeah, exactly.
So do you think that that's missing now? So he was saying that he had a comment that he made that back in your guys' time, everybody just looked intimidating. Do you think that's a little bit like, is that missing now?
Yeah.
The
They don't do that now.
intimidation?
They don't
like,
do that.
you
now.
just look like a beast. Like you know what I mean? Like I didn't know how big I was until like I saw some pictures or videos. I'm like, what's going on? Like they'll be announcing the athletes and you know they're announcing from lane 1 all the way over. And when they get to my lane, like the camera has to go all the way up in the air.
Okay.
He was a big dude.
Right.
When he ran, he was even looked bigger.
Yeah.
I remember watching a race. It's a side view of you.
Yeah.
And he's running a race. And he looks bigger than everyone in the race. But it looks like an optical illusion. It looks like he's closer to the camera, but he's actually like in lane 5 or 4. So he's just bigger. That's what it looked like.
Right.
Yeah.
So why do you think that's missing now?
I think that this era of runners don't particularly care about being intimidating. I think it's more, their persona is more about the flash, what I got, what I can do, where I'm hanging out at, that kind of stuff. I think it kind of, and I think track and sports in general just kind of like goes hand in hand with like rap music, to be honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back then it was Tupac, Biggie. It was more gangster rap. It was more like hard, DMX, that kind of stuff, right? And that's the stuff we warmed up to. Now they warming up to like, I got the rollie on my wrist, ice on my neck, that kind of stuff. So they more swaggy with it than we were.
Right. So you guys came with the intimidation energy because of the music you're listening to as well.
So. Yeah.
Like we came with a fist.
That's exactly
Came with a fist on our feet.
Yeah.
Talk me through relay. Like I would love to know the energy, like USA versus Jamaica relay. Like I want to relive that moment. Like I want to act like I was there.
You set her up for this right now.
I have nothing to do with that.
He was like,
man.
hey, he was
Nothing-
like,
nothing
talk
to
about
do
the
with
relay. Man, I would say that our relays at that point in time was in shambles. Because when you watched Team Jamaica, and correct me if I'm wrong, Asafa, a lot of the guys you kind of like grew up watching or you ran with them that was on your team, right? You ran club track and things like that. So you grew up with them. So you had a bond.
Yeah.
When you look at Team USA, it comprises of athletes who probably never ran against each other at a young age. And right now, at the height of their career, their top competitors outside of Jamaica would be those guys in the USA field.
Yeah.
So we always had a veil of like, almost like you like, all right, like we on the same team, but it's like,
but stay away from it.
but stay away from it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys just didn't gel. Like
Yeah,
too much egos.
It would be we would walk, they would be laughing. Like
Yeah.
going into the call room,
Right.
Yeah.
Team Jamaica would be laughing, having a good time.
Oh man.
Like you would think they're getting ready to go to a party.
Yeah.
They would be in the call room, be
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
where we going? What we doing after this,
Do
right?
you think that was a distraction to intimidate you guys too?
Hell yeah! What do you mean? Because we would be sitting right there across from them, right? Because they would, the meet promoters would strategize it. They would be Team Jamaica. It would be like on the wall, right? It would be Jam on the wall, it'd be USA on the wall. So we all have to sit in our areas. So we had to literally watch them and see them. They relaxed, they chilling, and how would we be, right? We'd be sitting there like this.
Yeah. But
Really?
Like we'd be
Yeah,
sitting there
in-
quiet
yeah,
like this. We wouldn't
yeah.
even be talking to each other. We'd just be sitting
that's
there like
true.
this.
100%.
100%.
That's awkward.
Yeah. I think that we just never got an opportunity to kind of like gel enough to where we could be relaxed.
Right.
And then on top of that, as much as I hated to see them win, I loved seeing Jamaica celebrate.
Yeah, man, yeah,
I'm going to go on the record and say that because
Yeah.
as soon as they crossed the line,
Yeah.
it was dances. It was, listen, it would be people in the audience that had Jamaican flags that you know they weren't Jamaican.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to see the festivities. They wanted to see the
Right.
entertainment.
The energy.
They
Like,
brought the energy.
Yeah,
We didn't
man.
bring the
Yeah,
energy.
man.
And I
Right.
think now that's what's missing in track and field now. Is the fact
Energy.
that no matter who wins, even if a Jamaican athlete wins now, there's no
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like, oh, good job, here's your flowers, throw it in the stands. All right, cool, get off the track.
Yeah.
I think it misses the fact of what they really brought to the table, which is real fun, camaraderie,
man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Put on a
bonding,
show.
put on a
Yeah.
show.
Always a fun time. That's why and that's one of the things I kind of miss too. I miss my teammates as well. You know, Michael Freighter, Nesta Carter, Bolt. I miss that bond that we had in the sports, and you know, like you said, you know, we're just always laughing, you know, always making jokes and, you know, and just doing fun stuff.
You guys are
And the
trying to
crazy
intimidate
and the
them.
crazy thing is we don't even practice together.
They didn't need. The
Yeah.
thing is,
That's it.
We
they didn't need
practice.
to intimidate us
Yeah,
because they just had that energy.
yeah.
So I have to ask you guys this: did you guys ever get nervous, like competing against each other individually and like?
I mean, the
relay
nerve
or-
has to be there, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Mhm.
your nerve has to be there. You just don't want to be too nervous. But of course, you know, you're going in a race. You know, you're in against Justin Gatlin, Usain, you know, Tyson, whoever it is. Of course, it changes the entire race, you know, because if you're going to run against like no names,
It's
you know,
easier.
you want, like, when you're going to compete, you want to know who is in the race. And if you hear, you know, some guys, you're like, okay, cool. But if you hear, you know, Justin Gatlin, then you're like, okay, that means my parents fees more because we're going to run against each other, you know, and, you know, everything else has to be more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I mean, the
Everything
thing is,
changed.
like, I'm gonna put a perspective for you. Like from 2003 to like 2000, I'll say 7-ish, right? There was only one individual I had to worry about. That was him. That was Asafa. So when he lined up, I know I had to be on guard. So it's always gonna come with a little nerves, a little anxiousness,
Right.
because there's only one individual at that point in time on the face of the planet that can run stride for stride with me. So I had to make sure that my race strategy was on point, my phases was good, and then on top of that, he was the best starter in the world. So
So what would be like your plan to execute? Like if you're running against him, all the times that you beat him, what was the execution plan?
this was the execution plan. Please, God.